Hi, my name is Nigel Norton. This is the Youth News Network Special. Today we're going to be talking about personal work-life balance. Today I have Alan and Jada with me today.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, so I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about work life and dating?
Jumping into it.
Oh
You can
yeah,
start.
no, definitely. I've been on again, off again with Bumble. Going around, meeting new people, seeing new guys, just figuring out where I'm going. The big thing I've realized is that I gotta separate work me from like personal life me.
Right.
Like I can talk about a big business because it's my passion, and like guys gotta know that he's gonna be dating a businesswoman and see what he's getting into.
Yeah.
But it's very much compartmentalizing and being like, this is my time for rest and this is my time to work. Because when the two start meshing, that's when it's hard to like get back into the groove of things.
Yeah. For me, it's always a challenge, like figuring out exactly what I want to communicate to the right person. Like especially when you have such a small window, like your online dating and stuff. You have like one little bio, and it's like, but I do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So trying to like fit all of that into one thing is always kind of tricky. And then like not saying too much, not saying too little. And then like you said, turning on and off work mode.
Yeah.
Because when I'm on, when I have my coffee, whoever I'm with got to be ready for it. And like I could talk all day. when it comes to it. So trying to like switch back and forth, yeah, it's kind of tough.
And I agree with what you guys said too. Another question I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about working and then doing a business too? How does that come into play?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like we said, it's a juggling act at the end of the day. You got to separate, all right, this is what I'm going to do for this is what I'm going to do for that. But working on top of it has helped me in my business because I get into a mindset of like, okay, if this is what my manager is telling me to do, what would I do as an employee? What would I do as a manager? What skills do I need to transfer from my work to my business? Like organization, I know that's one of my major weak points, but working and starting to be in the workforce has helped me like pick up that slack. I can now organize my checkbooks properly. I can organize my orders properly because I'm so used to those menial tasks they'll have us do, working retail, restaurant, things like that.
Yeah, that's a killer point. I mean, I think one of the big things you touched on that was especially relevant to me as well is understanding like what does it feel like to work for somebody as opposed to work as a leader. And it really helps, at least for me, make decisions as to, like how my teammates and subordinates will feel about how I communicate something. And not only that, but taking things from your work, your job, and applying it to your startup, to your business. Because like it's a grind, right? Doing both, it's a grind.
Yep.
And so at least, obviously you're getting the money from it, but if you can at least get something else, some kind of skill, some kind of value out of it, and just put it to work. Put it to
I
work.
agree with that. Okay, what about hanging out with friends and family? How do you do both? How do you juggle friends and your family?
Organization is key, and mental health. Making sure that you have an honest conversation with yourself where it's like, hey, how are we feeling? Are we tired? Are we stressed? Are we working too much? Are we happy right now? Because like you said, it's a passion, it's a business, but it's also not everything. You work hard so that when you rest, you feel accomplished and you know that your business can continue on when you want to take a little break. So you'll have time for friends, you'll have time for family. You're not neglecting the social aspect of it because you feel like you have to just put your nose to the grindstone.
Right. And yeah, and ideally one thing that would be helpful is you can find friends that support what it is you're doing. I mean, at a minimum, that's I feel like part of the being a friend, job title, right? And if you can have a supportive circle around you, the value in that can't be understated. I mean, like my friends know, like sometimes I'll come with them with bad ideas, sometimes I'll come with them with stuff I'm excited about, and they just kind of match the energy, never know what direction I want to go in. But one thing that they never do is like, put an idea down or like, shame me for having that vision. And so I think if you can find friends that hype you up like that, you're in a good
You got this,
space.
King. We got us too. We're having a whole conversation. It works.
Right.
I could kind of piggyback off that too. I agree with what both of you guys said. Like, my friends know what you said. If they know when it's time to do business, they know, and you want to have supportive friends. Like you don't want friends that don't know. Like, hey, I don't want to hang around you if you're not going to support. Like, I have to be at this today.
Right.
Can't relate to that, then I'm sorry, you have to go. That's one of the things
make the cut.
I agree with that, what you guys said on that too. Another question I wanted to ask you guys, so we talked about friends, family, relationship-wise, but what about other activities? What about activities that you guys enjoy doing, like hanging out, going like to the beach, or like, what about our social life, like stuff for ourselves?
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's always the big kicker of it too, because I turned one of my passionate hobbies, art, into like a business. So I have to remind myself that like, hey, drawing another picture is not just the only social interaction you have. I know I rely on either like my sisters, or I'm still currently finishing up school. I'll look all around for like what flyers where they have like crazy discos, taco making things, like go pet a kitten for like 10 minutes. And I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna work my schedule immediately all around that. Cause like, I wanna go pet a cat. I don't wanna have to think about business right now. And that kind of helps me keep me on my P's and Q's.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, part of business, like especially a startup in a startup environment, is understanding how much of a grind it is legitimately, and being okay with that. And so if you can do what you did and take something you're passionate about and monetize it and turn it into a business, you're already one step ahead, because like you're gonna be grinding it. One of my favorite quotes that I think my parents told me is like, you work harder for yourself than you've ever worked for anybody else. And so ideally you wanna make whatever you're working on that hard, have it be something not just that's gonna make you money, obviously, but something you're passionate about that you don't mind investing that much time into.
Oh, definitely.
And then, like you said, making time for mental health, being able to, balance it out and not over, work yourself, not get into burnout and that sort of thing. If you do all of that combined, it'll be probably helpful.
Definitely.
Those were really, really good points. To watch more of this special, follow us at YouTube at WatchYNN.